Welcome back. We are on episode 6 and things are moving pretty quickly. Let's jump straight into it. So a lot actually transpires in this episode. First of all, we finally meet Dingiswayo. We also see Shaka growing into this force to be reckoned with. And lastly, kaSenzangakhona loses his mind. So one important thing to take notice of in this episode is the fact that we go through a time skip. I'm not exactly sure how long it was, but judging from Shaka's age, I'd say somewhere between 11 to 13 years. So episode 6 starts about 11 to 13 years after episode 5. In this episode, we get to see the character of Senzangakhona and the type of king that he is. He is a show-off. He is egotistical. He's arrogant. And he's a type of king that doesn't want to listen to sound and wise counsel. He's also a king that's ruled by his lust. And we see this in the way that he allowed a lady to join his kingdom who basically came and caused trouble. And it's funny because this was actually alluded to in previous episodes when Senzangakhona was having that conversation with Queen Nandi, his mother, just before he went to his initiation.
Mama, ngiyaqonda ukubaluleka ngokuthatha intombi kanzuza. Futhi ngikulungele lokho. Ngephi intombi yaselangeni? Intombi yaselangeni isifiso sami ukuthi kube yiyo indlovukazi. Abantu baselangeni bangasinika lokho amanzuza angasinika.
Yini abangasinika yona?
Indlovukazi ngimthembisile.
Umthembisa kanjani? Uthatha bulelo gonyo. Uyicabangela wena. Awucabangela abantu bakayihlo. Ucabanga ukuthi ubukhosi bakhiwa ngenkanuko. Iyona inkosi ozoba yona le.
What's more important though is the fact that Senzangakhona truly believes that the prophecy that the Sanusi came with when his father was not feeling well is about him. And it actually informs a lot of the decisions that he makes throughout this episode. Now, I had to go back and just quickly get a recap of the actual prophecy, and I'm going to insert a clip of it here as well.
Olibeni lwakho kuyakutshalwa iwundlu liyokukhula libe imbube enamandla ukubhonga kwayo kuyonanelwa izizwe iyakuqeda izizwe yakhe izizwe ukuzalwa kwayo kuyoba isihlangu sokuvika izinkonjane.
So Senzangakhona really believes that he's this lion that's being spoken about in the prophecy that's going to conquer the nations and forge them into one. And in order to fulfill this prophecy, he starts making preparations for something called an ijadu. I'm not sure what that is, but it is at the ijadu where Senzangakhona plans to overpower the other kings. And he becomes so obsessed with this plan, even to a point where he disregards customs and actually upsets these kings. But anyway, while Senzangakhona is out there acting crazy, Shaka is actually, now we see him growing up and being raised by both his mother, Queen Nandi, and his grandmother, Queen Tania. And I love how this episode portrayed the importance of mothers in raising children. Shaka was being taught about life. He was being built up in terms of his confidence, and he was being sharpened, to be smart and intelligent. And both his mother and Queen Tania emphasized how he is a lion, he's a leopard, he is this, I don't know how to describe it, but somebody of importance, somebody who's going to grow up into a leader. And Nandi believes that Shaka is actually the one whom the prophecy is about. And this is something that she teaches him as well. So not only are they making him intelligent, teaching him things, but they're also building up his confidence in himself and who he is and who he's going to grow up to become. But there's only so much that Queen Tania and Queen Nandi can do in terms of raising Shaka. there is still that need for his father to come in and train him in the ways of being a man. And I mean, Shaka looks up to his father. It's like kaSenzangakhona is a hero to him. He wants to be like him. He wants to be a warrior like him. He wants to be a king like him. So you see Shaka then, you know, eyeing his father, trying to watch how he moves and what he does. And this eventually leads to kaSenzangakhona saying that he's going to take Shaka on a hunting trip with him so he can train him in the ways of being a man. And this is where the drama starts. Because it's on this hunting trip where kaSenzangakhona starts to see the type of son that he has. That scene with the elephant, right? I think that scene is the scene where kaSenzangakhona starts to actually doubt whether the prophecy could be about him. Just in the way that Shaka commanded respect from that elephant. The way he was domineering over the elephant, you know, asserting himself as an authority over it to the point of telling it what to do, and it obeyed. So that's where things started becoming shaky. Okay. And you know the crazy thing about the scene with Shaka and the doubt that it brings about in kaSenzangakhona is that it makes him even more obsessed about the Ijadu. I mean, the Ijadu is the place where he's going to fulfill his prophecy. So he needs to make sure it happens, because he needs to prove to himself and prove to everyone that he indeed is the lion in the prophecy. And it's honestly just a downward spiral from there. The doubt that he has about whether or not he really is the king that is spoken about in the prophecy, as well as that scene where he starts to see Shaka's authority and his domineering spirit, just leads kaSenzangakhona to make a bad decision after a bad decision after a bad decision, ending in that climax at the end of the episode. And yeah, things are just not going well for Nandi. And guys, I don't know, I'm getting tired of this up and down roller coaster relationship between her and kaSenzangakhona. We started off with them being in love, then she falls pregnant, he denies the baby, he makes it right and marries her, and then he turns his back on her again. Yeah, so we don't know what's in store for Nandi in the upcoming episode, but I'm really, really glued to my screen right now because it's getting really good. I must say, one thing I'm also glad about is that we just took a break from the Ekudunkomo kingdom, because we've been through a lot with those guys. We have been traumatized by those people. It was just nice to take a break from all the drama and everything that's happening in the Ekudunkomo kingdom. But one thing we must remember is that it's also been 11 to 13 years for them. So it's gonna be interesting to see what has happened in that time. How does the kingdom look now? Is the queen and her son, her disfigured son, and Zwita ruling together? What's the situation at the Ekudunkomo kingdom right now? And also we have the cat with I don't know how many lives, Dingiswayo. I mean, how many times is this guy gonna get saved? And let me not forget the actual Ijadu. We didn't see it happen. I'm not sure if it's still going to happen, but yeah, it'll be interesting as well now to see what happens with kaSenzangakhona, because he's a Tringas now, that one. So that's it for the review of episode 6 of Shaka Ilembe season 1. As always, let's meet again here next week for the review of episode 7. And let's meet on Twitter on Sunday when the episode actually airs. Let's chat about it. I'll see you then. Bye.